I have a clip that I'm going to play at the beginning of our podcast because yesterday was the 4th of July and it's only fitting, and I think it's freaking hysterical. So, hello everybody, welcome to the Three Geeks podcast.
Yeah!
It is Max, John, Scott, and Dan. No interviews
Dan,
today.
though.
Dan
is nowhere to be found.
The absent chair of Dan.
We want to give our interviewees the respect of not being attached to this podcast. So,
Right, so they can plausible deniability.
yes. And so we are here to talk to you about all the wonderful goodness. John, where can people find you, promote some of your stuff?
Well, you can find...
Dan's gone.
Kill some time while Dan's gone. Here's Dan.
Hey.
Yay, Dan.
The company of the absent chair of Dan.
I mean, I can stand to the side. You can talk to the chair. It's fine.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
We thought this was going to be a mystery, like an episode of Murder, She Wrote. What happened to Dan?
What happened to Dan? Who shot Dan?
John, I was at Target the other day. I'll let you promote your stuff in a second.
Sure.
And they had Murder, She Wrote pop figures. And if I had my wallet with me, I would have bought you one.
Oh, yeah, I know. That DJ Joey Blaze he's a big Funko Pop dude. He always gives me crap about buying me a Jessica Fletcher Funko Pop.
If they had Matlock ones, I would have applied for a credit
How
card.
are they rocking Jessica Fletcher and not Matlock? I mean,
Exactly.
Because Murder, She Wrote is better.
Ooh, shots fired.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You shut your mouth.
Fired.
I have reasons. In Matlock?
I mean, you better. You know who you're talking to, right?
The guys that have a Matlock podcast.
Check out Matt Talk on
Hero podcast. I'm game.
I gotta say, and it's not because I'm on them, but the next 2 episodes of Matt Talk are hysterical.
Look, and by the way, side note, I just throwing it out there, and I forget the young lady's name, and I do apologize. Jason and I do promote Matt Talk through various different Facebook groups that are, fan pages of Matlock. Yesterday, I saw that there was an alert, and I checked it out, and some young lady, and I'm sorry, I forget your name, posted that they did a podcast where one of the guests presents a case from how Matlock would present it, and the other one presents it the way Perry Mason would, and they kind of battle each other. Huh. And I quipped, "Oh man, that is awesome," because I didn't think anybody else had a Matlock podcast besides Jason and I, And that lady responded, "Yeah, that's cool, but Perry Mason's better." Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, oh, shots fired again.
In the face. She's like, HBO didn't make a new Matlock show, did they?
All right, Dan.
Yo.
Give us your reasons.
Oh, my main reason is this. Usually, at the end of Murder, She Wrote, the killer is shown in an oddly sympathetic light, seeing as they just murdered at least one person. And she's kind of like, it's okay that you beat your old boss over the head with a candlestick because you're crying and you're sad now. We're just going to take you to the police all nice and stuff now. Whereas in Matlock, it's the usual ending of a cop drama. It's like, well, you're guilty, going to jail.
Here's my problem.
Yeah.
Murder, She Wrote has too much exposition. Okay, I've been watching over the last couple of weekends when it's on Cozy. Let me just explain, Dan.
Okay.
We don't get a murder till like 10:40. Okay, if it starts at 10 a.m., if the episode starts at 10 a.m., we don't get a murder till 10:40. There's a lot of exposition.
Got meta on you, Dan.
but Jessica Fletcher is a murder author who lives in a small town, Cabot Cove, right? Yeah, I think.
Correct.
Okay, whereas, of course you're going to have a murder early in Matlock. He's a fucking lawyer.
Bam. Repping the 323.
Is that the area code for Atlanta?
Have no idea what the fucking area code for Cabin Cove is. I just had to throw some numbers out there. But
I
no,
mean, so
323.
I don't know. I just made up the area code for Cabin Cove, a fictional city that doesn't exist.
what the hell?
But no, I don't know if it's a real place that they based these. You know, if they did a Stephen King, it's like everything happens in fucking Maine because I wonder where Stephen King lives. Like,
We have to be the youngest people debating this right now on
We
all
are.
social media.
Ever.
We
the youngest
are.
people ever to debate these things.
As
Exactly.
somebody who likes Matlock, I personally think Perry Mason is the most consistent show out of all three of them.
Okay.
Quality-wise.
And he's
Okay.
on the podcast.
No, I mean Matlock has had some rough episodes.
Yeah.
No, there's been some rough episodes so far. We're only 3 in.
Oh,
But
dude,
you know what though? It's
Well,
good.
I mean-
It's good. Like, there's not enough of that today. Where he's like, I realize the shortcomings of the thing that I love,
Yeah.
and not to segue into today's topic, but you know, if you can admit where the faults, you're like, hey, you know, like sometimes we have crap episodes. You're like every now and again, you get that clown episode, but I still love it for these reasons. I love the white suit, but it's
Colonel Sanders.
right. You know, it just makes me want to get some fried chicken. But,
So-
but no, that's good that you guys can, you know, because there's not enough of that. Like today, I feel like everyone's too like you got to stick to your guns. Mine's all good all the time. Yours is all bad all the time. End of discussion. So that's real mature and very. I don't know what to say, but I like it.
I loved episodes 2 and 3, but they were not well written. And John did not like episodes 2 and 3.
Because they were not well
Not
written.
well written.
He loved them because of how cheesy they were. He did not like them because of how
Not
cheesy they were.
appreciate the cheesiness. He's a little
Dude.
bit lactose intolerant. He's like, this shit
It's-
makes me party,
Lactose
and I'm not down for it.
All right, so yesterday was the 4th of July. We're not going to get political and discuss people's opinions on the holiday. But what I'm going to say is Independence Day has given us one of the greatest, because of the 4th of July, we've gotten one of the greatest movie speeches of all time. And right now, I am going to play
Oh my God!
this
Here we go.
movie speech out of respect for yesterday. So if you guys just mute for just a minute.
Just raise up your glasses.
Good morning! Good morning! In less than an hour, an aircraft from here will join others from around the world, and you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
That's right, Gilbert Gottfried doing the speech.
Mankind! That word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united by our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July. You will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our independence.
Here's to you.
How Gilbert Gottfried does not do more of stuff like this is beyond me, because I think he should. I think that
Actually-
when they released the clips from 50 Shades of Grey of him reading it, I
Yeah.
think they should have paid him to do the whole book, because I would have listened.
He does a lot of shit, actually. He's pretty active on Cameo, and I've heard him say some things that's like, he is committed to reading whatever you write for the right price.
Gilbert Gottfried will literally say anything for money.
Also, I just wanted to roll it back. Area code for Maine is 207.
The entirety of Maine has
Yes.
one area code.
But
Is
wasn't
what?
Cabot,
207?
207.
Well, I'll be darned.
Yep.
wasn't Cabot Cove on the West Coast?
I don't know.
Cabot Cove would be close to Portland, Maine. Because that's
Now-
mentioned in an episode.
It was shot in Mendocino, California. That's where the majority of it was shot. And those area codes are 707 and 937. So Max got the middle three right.
I gotta say that you see, you guys, when you listen to the Three Geeks podcast, you learn things.
Right? Like, I mean, I fucking love you guys. Scott, I mean, I stay, motherfucker.
So, as a nerdy podcast, we have done an injustice to the people that watch and listen to us because a big piece of news dropped 2 weeks ago, and we haven't talked about it, which is Michael Keaton is being reported that he is returning to Batman for 3 films, and we've not discussed this. So I'm going to go to Dan first. And Dan, what do you think about Michael Keaton coming back and the potential of Batman Beyond?
If it's going to be Batman Beyond, I am all for it.
It's going to be Flash, Batgirl, and Batman Beyond is the
They're
story.
gonna do
That's the
time
thing.
bullshit, aren't they?
Well, hold on. Because
No.
hold on. Max, it's fucking my turn. So you be quiet and you can talk in a little bit. Okay. If they're doing
He looks angry from behind.
if they're doing Flashpoint and Angry Thomas Wayne, I'm cool with it.
They are doing Flashpoint.
Okay.
Fuck!
Because Thomas
That's been
Wayne
the
is
plan for
freaking
a
an
while.
awesome Batman.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be an awesome Batman because he's Thomas Wayne.
Hey, and they've talked about that. I'm sorry. They talked about that. What's his name? Tegan.
Keaton?
Negan.
Yeah, Tegan
Oh.
from Walking Dead. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Tegan.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Negan.
Negan. What did I
That
say?
chick who married John Legend, who's got like
Yeah.
social media
What did I say? What did I say?
You said Tegan.
shit. You said Tegan.
Oh, whoops, no. Although I would actually pay to see Christy Teigen do a Negan cosplay. That would be pretty awesome. Sorry.
I gotta say that Dan, were you finished?
Yeah, I think so. Thomas Wayne's good. I like that.
We just don't want to cut you off. You know what
I,
I mean? I got put in
oh,
time
you're
out
good.
and that shit. So you know,
You're good.
When I heard this news,
I just wanted to
honestly-
say 2 sentences, man.
this is something that Max and I have talked about since we started the podcast, the potential of Michael Keaton coming back in a Batman Beyond role. And if this is what gets us to that point, I'm excited. I don't think one of the things that gives me pause about being negative about this report is I don't think Michael Keaton would do it unless the idea was right, because he doesn't need to. He's got no reason to come back to Batman.
You don't know what money problems this dude has, all right? But you have no idea what his motivation to do anything is.
Well, I'm saying that his career is going very well right now.
Yeah, his career is fine, but Nicolas Cage could argue the same thing.
That's fair.
But-
But Nicolas Cage doesn't get all the positive
No,
praise
but
that
Nicolas
Keaton-
Cage does all that shit for the money, though.
In the same vein, Nicolas Cage wasn't as good when he wasn't doing it all for the money, because
Fair.
now he's just like
That
ape
is
shit,
fair.
so.
But I digress. No, the only thing I don't like is when you have the Flash, there's always, if they're doing Flashpoint and Batman Beyond, I don't like it. I don't like it because I don't want them mixing stories. I don't like they always seem like it's like the double villain thing.
Oh, it's not going to be in the same movie.
No, but it is going to be in the same movie. If they're saying the Flashpoint caused the Batman Beyond universe to happen, then I don't like it.
But wait, if Flashpoint caused the Batman Beyond universe, then you'd get crazy Thomas Wayne with guns teaching young Neo Batman to kill people. He's just like, go on, kid, kill them all.
No,
So that could be
that's what
cool.
I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying though, Dan. It's like if they're taking out specific things from both of those things to put them together, and that does not fly with me because I love Batman Beyond for what it is. I love Batman Beyond, and I love Flashpoint for what it is. And you need all of the things of both of them to make them good. Like I don't want you to sacrifice any bit of either of those great storylines for one amalgamated piece of shit.
Okay, let's say best case scenario. Let's say that Justice League Snyder Cut comes out, and let's say it's great.
Boo.
Stop. Let's say it's great. Let's say Justice League the Snyder Cut is great. We're all excited. We loved it. DC shouldn't be announcing stuff because they have committed to putting this out on HBO Max. They've gotten the cast to return to do some polish up reshoots. If Justice League does good, all this stuff they're announcing right now is going to be null and void because we know how DC is. They're reactionary. Suddenly, Snyder's plan is going to kick back up and Michael Keaton's back out, right?
Oh my God! Fuck all of that.
You haven't seen it.
I have a question.
Well, first of all, like, nothing is going to make Justice League good. I mean,
it's
not one thing.
You can't polish a turd, sir. You still have a turd.
Breach.
Well, that's not fair.
Sorry.
Lord have mercy.
We only
John.
saw 10% of the original movie.
Don't
Thank
give
you,
a
Dan.
shit. And that 10% sucked.
Oh yeah, it did. Oh yeah, it did.
and
hard.
that
Hard.
That 10% was supposed to be the best of the 100%, and it was not good.
So
Hey,
here's my question. Okay, they've already done Flashpoint on the Flash TV show.
They've done Flashpoint on the animated series. They've
Yeah.
done Flashpoint on the TV show. They've done Flashpoint in the comic books. They've done Flashpoint, and they've done it again.
So that's my question: is there not another better idea that they can come up with? Why they keep redoing it if they've done it across all these different genres of media?
Well, I mean, like it's because once it was made, it was such a like quintessential Flash story that you cannot have the Flash without at some point doing a Flashpoint.
What DC's trying to do is they want all of the stuff that's worked for them in the same universe, and they see it as Flashpoint is the only way to do it, but I don't agree with that because we have the Joker and we have the Batman coming out with Twilight guy. And
His name is Robert Pattinson.
Which I'm looking forward to Patterson's take, and I'm glad that it's not
Pattinson.
We are doing great with names today, aren't we?
I've been drinking. What's your excuse? Okay.
I can't wait to see Tegan Patterson in all kinds of things.
Dude, Tegan Patterson is the greatest actress of all time.
Oh, I think Tegan Patterson needs to make an appearance on Remake Revolution this week.
So what I'm saying with DC is, Shazam worked for the majority of the audience. I'm one of the people who liked it.
I like
Joker.
Shazam.
Joker did really well.
Joker was fucking awesome.
Learn your lessons from those. Both of those movies were isolated. If you want to bring Michael Keaton back as Batman or an older Bruce Wayne, fantastic. Just, you don't need to pull in Ezra Miller. You don't need to pull in Gal Gadot. You don't need to pull in all those people because obviously the Joker worked. The Joker was in an isolated. That's what DC needs to do. They need to get back to making isolated movies.
No, the thing is, if you have someone who's got an idea and they have a plan to carry out their idea, and it's supposed to be this one thing for itself, look how it turns out. But then when you feel like you need this committee of people for this yada yada yada, it all turns out like crap.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's not even like, because like we'll say Shazam did all right, but it's not like you just need whatever you're trying to do. You need one person for the plan to do that one thing. So if like you're trying to set up a universe, you're gonna need somebody who can do that. Like, you can't have this committee of people who think, well, maybe we should do this, and then they all change their mind, and then both sway this way, and they sway that way, and it doesn't. You don't get a cohesive plan and idea. Like, if you don't start off from the very beginning with the idea of what you're trying to do in mind, you will fail. You will fail every time, and they don't get it.
Well, that's I agree with you. That's one of the reasons I think Shazam, Birds of Prey, and Joker worked, is because there was one person running the movies. It wasn't a committee doing the films. But when we saw Zack Snyder, we got Batman. He ran those movies by himself until he got to Justice League, and then that's when his messes worked. Just because we weren't.
But I mean, like Zack Snyder has a lot of problems. Like, there's like with Man of Steel, which I enjoyed. I feel like that's like one of the better Superman movies ever made.
Ooh.
Best of the DC EU movies for sure.
But like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed Aquaman more than that, and it's a worse movie.
I don't like Aquaman.
I like Aquaman.
See, like, it's ridiculous. It is utterly absurd, and like
It's utterly absurd.
you freaking like Marvel lucked out. They lucked out. They found Kevin Feige, Disney, Marvel.
Well,
They lucked the fuck out.
And see,
but even still, you can argue that there's more bad Marvel movies than there are good ones.
I mean, there's more. Yeah.
but
Marvel
the bad
movies are
ones
good,
aren't,
but they're
like,
not bad.
But they're not so bad. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. They're
watchable.
never so bad that you're just like, fuck this fucking movie. And
Yeah. You got Thor: The Dark World, which it makes me go
I
to sleep.
enjoy that
But
movie.
It's not horrible. I don't care. You hate everything that I like. Welcome to my world, son.
I went back and watched Thor 2, and it was like, it's not a bad
It's
movie.
not horrible.
It's just kind of boring. And that's like the main problem I think most people have with it, is I think they're bored, so they don't remember it very much. And the parts they do remember were like, just
Like,
kind of...
I
agree.
More Thor 2 is better than the first Captain America movie.
False.
Yeah.
False.
Yeah.
False. Fuck you. No.
Oh, fuck you! Fuck you!
I like
The first Captain America movie sucks balls.
The first
Oh
Captain
my
America
God.
movie might be... It's definitely in my top 5 Marvel movies.
The first one?
Huh.
Yeah,
The first one.
I like it.
100%.
Oh my God! Get
100%.
the fuck out of here! Are you serious?
Yeah,
My
I
problem with
liked
that
it
one.
too.
Yeah, it's just
Really?
it's too-
Really?
Yes.
Watch
really.
that movie again. Watch it again. I cannot even believe this.
it's
I
not
watched
bad.
it recently.
When?
It-
When? 5 years ago?
No, it was like a couple months ago.
Bullshit.
I watched it a few months ago too. It's
Yeah, because USA was running the shit out of that.
Yeah,
USA had it on all the time.
Winter Soldier was on last night.
it's just too small of a concept for a long movie.
I know he's
It's
yelling.
like
Try
my problem.
sitting like an inch away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you?
Look, this means 3 beers deep in the time we've been podcasting.
We do Animaniacs, JT. We know.
Yeah.
So back to Max's statement, I agree. But one of the things, when you have somebody like Kathleen Kennedy running something, you're being successful. All of the Star Wars movies were successful. They did really well at the box office. But you're not.
Yeah.
You're not being successful. As somebody who liked every single movie that was put out, Solo I didn't like as much as I like the others. All those movies have
Solo's
problems.
one of the better ones.
Yep.
I'm just saying they had problems. I love the trilogy, but it's not.
Yeah, really. That's what we're saying.
It's not a trilogy. It is not a trilogy at all. It's movies that were just randomly made by people. Best case scenario, it's a double. I really hope that Jon Favreau takes over. But yeah, like the lesson is to have somebody, I agree with Max, like Kevin Feige, somebody that's good. But you also need to notice when that person isn't delivering something that's going to give you lasting results. Because even when Iron Man 2 came out,
Oh my God.
at least they had stuff in there that was getting you excited about the next one.
Did they?
Well,
Yeah,
the main
Sadly, yes.
The main problem with Iron Man 2 was there was studio interference, because Favreau had like this like solid idea for like, you're gonna have like this dark version of Tony Stark, but they like cut all that out to get to the epic whip fight, and there's
plus
like,
there
not
was
really any like character.
Fuck Iron Man 2. Fuck it right up its stupid ass. Fuck Iron Man 2.
We got
But don't fuck it too much, because you gotta save some for Iron Man 3,
Fuck Iron Man 3 also.
which is the worst one.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Go back and forth on whether I
Yes.
just like 2 or 3 more.
No. See, like Dan argues that
Okay.
Iron Man 3 is the worst one because of the letdown, but I argue that Iron Man 3 is better than Iron Man 2 because of the buildup. At least you have that 10 minutes where the Mandarin is a badass and you're actually afraid of him. Like, at least you have that. Iron Man 2 gives you nothing.
Okay, but step out of the film now. They give you a great actor being the Mandarin.
Yeah.
And they just crank that rate up, and then he's not the fucking Mandarin. What, magic? We don't know how to do magic. This is all stuff. Okay, in Iron Man 2, who the hell's Whip Guy? Who knows? Who cares? See?
Exactly.
Iron Man 3's worse.
Exactly. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 gives you nothing. They give you nothing.
Yeah.
The villain isn't interesting. The
Iron Man 3
sucks.
gives you negative numbers.
No, Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 2 is at 0.
We hired Academy Award winning Ben Kingsley to play the villain in this movie, and
And
you're
he's
like,
not the villain.
Okay, I'm in. I am in. And then for the first half of the movie, Ben Kingsley is fucking killing it, and you're like, oh, I am in. And then they drop you off that press. They take you to the mountaintop, and they fucking launch you with a fucking bazooka off of that motherfucker. The ride down,
And
the
then
ride
some
down is
guys-
so fast and so brutal, you don't even know what to do. But at least they brought you to the top.
Somewhere in that film, Ben Kingsley gets like kicked out, and you get some douchebag on fire, and then you got a whole bunch of Iron Mans, and then it shits on you. The end.
It is.
I mean I didn't want a German porn film.
It is
I wanted Iron Man 3 with the fucking Mandarin.
Iron Man 3 like takes you to the pinnacle, and then it is a combination of a dumpster fire with your child's first messy diaper, with all the bad things that ever happened to anybody combined.
And why did I pay for this? You see?
And no, for real. Why did you pay for it? For the build-up, Dan. For the build-up. For that 10 minutes, when the Mandarin was sweet, at least you have that. At least you have that. Iron Man 2 gives you nothing. They give you nothing. They take from you everything.
I agree, especially because, like, I don't know. I feel like they were trying to be like, oh,
Wait,
we're
hold
the
on,
new.
Scott.
All right.
Which part do you actually agree with? I need a list.
Okay.
Hey,
No,
Max, John and I feel you should go outside and smoke real quick. I don't know if we like alcoholic Max. He's so vicious.
Dude, you know, the problem is I haven't eaten breakfast. I'm feeling everything right now.
Hey, since we're on a rant about movies,
Okay.
has anybody tried to check out the controversial new Netflix film,
Oh, that's
365 Days?
I watched the Cinema Snob episode on it. That's all I need to see.
Yeah, let me just tell you, it's horrible. It is absolutely terrible. I made it to 40 minutes, and that was it. I was like, I can't do this. This is so bad. It's not even bad that it's good. And somebody asked me, well, what is it? I said, well, it's poorly written. It is. The acting is subpar. But the most glaring issue is whoever the music director is for that film should be fired. I mean, Dan, like the opening scene, for you guys that are just curious, if you want, just watch the first 10 minutes. Opening scene is the protagonist and his father, who are mafioso, and they're talking about their business. Bullet right through the old man, right? Right through the old man into the kid. They're both laying on the top of the roof of this building, and everybody's clamoring. Not kidding. Camera pans up to the horizon for our opening credits. And what music plays in the background? Nothing more than some rock tune that sounds like it was made by a Dollar Tree 2 doors down. It's awful. I'm like, that doesn't match what just happened. Then the first time that you see like the sexy time between the two main characters,
But it's not sexy time because it's weird rapey time. But it puts it out as sexy time.
He puts it out as
Figure
sexy
that one
time.
out.
And
What
then there's
exactly
this
does
really
Garbage
bad
Bin
like
3 Doors Down sound like?
it's bad. It's bad. The Sexy Time one is like this really bad, cheap ripoff Adele that you're like, none of this jives with what's going on the screen. Like, this is terrible. This is awful. Yeah. So it didn't. I didn't even finish it. I was like, I can't take any more of this. What?
Iron Man 2 is worse than that.
I'm
split
not
on,
going any further on that one.
So to sum it up, we're
I could,
split.
but I won't.
You tried to take me off topic, John, but it won't work. Iron Man 2 is the worst film.
All right, so I will just put we're split on Michael Keaton returning, and we'll get into the main topic.
Look. Michael Keaton is killing. That dude is a good actor, and I am excited for the work that he can do. But if the job that they're giving him entails any of the things that I was yelling about before, and I'm trying to keep my voice down, then it's not worth it. And not only is it sad because it's a waste of Michael Keaton playing this character, but it's sad for the story in general. This is the story that people are going to know, and I'm sad for them. That's my point.
Well, can I get into my opinions on Michael Keaton real quick?
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have two negatives about Michael Keaton returning. One, for me, I don't think he's old enough to be Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne. To me, Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne is always like 80 plus. Like he has to use a cane to get around. But like Michael Keaton saw him in Spider-Man just a couple of years ago, and he's flying around in a vulture suit. Like, I don't know, the believability that he couldn't still be Batman isn't quite there. Because Batman's the kind of person who would continue until, like in the show, he has a heart attack and is forced to use a gun.
What if they're doing the movie of that though?
I'd be fine with that if it's the setup. Like it's him struggling.
I'm down for that too. I'm sorry.
And even if we don't ever get like a legit Batman Beyond movie, if we just get like here's Terry McGinnis at the very end, and it's kind of the setup, and it's unsure if they're going to do another movie down the way. So I'm fine with that. They just do the build up. The other thing is if you have Michael Keaton as Batman for a Batman Beyond film, the thing about Batman Beyond was it was a direct continuation of Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures and stuff like that, because you had Conroy and all those characters. So would this just be Batman Beyond and they're just kind of doing their own thing, or would this be a direct link to like the first Batman? And if it is, like the Tim Burton Batman movie.
They said it'd be a link to Returns and the original.
Because
Forever and Robin
doesn't interest me as much. I'm
I'm
not a huge fan of the Tim Burton.
Well, no, but I mean, like, and one could argue that he becomes the animated series Batman after, because obviously, machine gunning, using your bat plane to machine gun innocent people in the streets is not the dude Batman wants to be. But
or throwing that dude over the edge with a stick of dynamite in his pocket or a grenade or whatever.
There's a lot of things that, like, in hindsight, we can agree were a little bit of overkill. But he could have grown to animated series Batman, or they could still even incorporate some of those aspects to it. I want to see the movie where Michael Keaton plays old crotchety Bruce Wayne and somebody else plays Batman. I really want that movie.
Yeah, so, I want it too.
Age them up a bit.
Yeah, and it's easier to age someone up than it is to de-age them.
I'll give you that. Yeah, 100%, no problem.
Yeah, De Niro in The Irishman, which I love that movie, but when he starts stomping the guy, you could tell it's an older man stomping.
Yeah.
Well, they do. Joe Pesci, they age him up in that movie a lot. Like, I know he's like an older gentleman, but
he's not that old.
Yeah, he's like old and decrepit, like can barely get like two words together. But then a few scenes later, it's a flashback, and he's like pretty.
Yeah, because I watched that, and it starts out with the car thing, and they're driving back going to do something with Hoffa, and I'm like, man, what happened to Joe Pesci? Like I haven't seen him in a couple years, but it's not that bad. But yeah.
I just want a Batman film where we incorporate the universe of Hitman.
Okay.
If anybody remembers that comic from the mid-'90s. It's set in Gotham. Batman makes appearances. You could still shoot more people.
Or just do the whole the Gotham Knights series and not have Batman at all. It's just he's gonna wander around Gotham.
What was Hitman?
Hitman was the Tommy Monahan, where he's like the guy that lives in the cauldron part of Gotham, and he's basically a hitman, but he gets powers of telepathy and X-ray vision because he interferes with there's like an alien invasion early on in the book.
Wasn't he a boss in the old NES Batman game?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Could be.
But and him and his wacky group of hitmen all hang out at this bar, and there's always like some weird stuff that happens, like, it's a mix of like serious stuff and then wacky, like, oh, somehow I can't remember the laboratory. The laboratory's opened up a time portal, and now dinosaurs are roaming around in Gotham. Oh no, it's like weird. It's great book. I liked it.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that's like they all meet up at that bar in the Deadpool movies.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Awesome.
That actually sounds kind of fun. But
So we're doing God damn it, the word left me again. Guilty pleasures.
I've been drinking.
Guilty pleasures.
I've been drinking.
I had to call
What's
Max
yours?
the other day. I'm like, what's that thing called where you like something? And then I'm like, guilty pleasures. Like I had to just say it, and then eventually the word
Yeah,
came to-
like it was an interesting call from him. I'm like, oh, well, like what's up? I answer the phone, and Jason's like, what's that word? The word that I thought of just now? Awesome, thanks. Have a great day, and then hangs up the phone. Glad I could help.
You did help. And one of my guilty pleasures is the first Vanilla Ice CD because it's like the first rap album I ever owned because I was really into rap.
And you could identify. That's a double whammy.
I even knowing what it, that he didn't write any of that and all that other stuff, I still listen to the CD. I still enjoy listening to the CD. So as we were talking about doing this topic, I'm like, 6-year-old Jason really wanted to watch Cool as Ice. I had never seen it, and this is going to be my episode of Throwback Thursday, which I'm bringing back this week. I'm like, I am going to go back.
The throwback to Throwback
The
Tuesdays.
movie's only $4.99 on Vudu. I've heard it's so bad it's funny, so at the very least it's funny. So I grabbed it on Vudu, and sure enough, it is funny. It is one of the funniest things I have ever watched. It's not supposed to be funny.
Go.
I had this weird week where I watched the 2 Matlock episodes and laughed my ass off, and then I watched Cool as Ice and I laughed my ass off. So yeah, probably my biggest guilty pleasure is that I like To the Extreme. It's still one of my favorite CDs. I still rock it. I still know every word to the CD. But
Yo, you got to drop the zero and get with the hero.
oh my God,
Oh.
they had just met each other.
John,
I know. Yeah, I know.
John, I just wet my panties right now when you said that. Oh my God.
Why does he have to spell everything in that movie? It's time to G-O go. It's like, what? I'm O-U-T out. I'm like, what?
That's what he does. It makes him sound cool and tough.
I'm like, when did
All right,
gangsters,
T-U-F-F, not.
why did people in posses wear bright neon clothes?
I mean, like, okay, so you think about the first line out of Ice Ice Baby. Stop. Whatever you're doing right now, stop it. Collaborate. So that means you can't even be by yourself. You need to be working with someone else.
But
Right
not if you're going to be not less than 6 feet apart.
Yeah. Which doesn't work in today's society.
No. It does work because we have telecommunication. But and then listen. So it's like, stop. All of you together, work together to listen to me. And this is prime material is what I'm saying.
Well,
I mean,
he's teaching.
what do you expect from a Cool as Ice movie?
That's fair. That's fair. He was in that new David Spade movie I watched a few weeks ago.
You know,
Playing
like,
Vanilla Ice.
Look, that he can play on it, like, and he got meta. He's like, oh, I realized that, like, in the meme verse, if I play on that, I can make money. Like, that's smart. Like, that's really the only play he's got left.
You mean I could stop building houses? I'm down.
I'm just still shocked that was your first rap album. I mean,
I was 6.
yeah,
No,
mine was Raising Hell, Run DMC.
Actually, my first rap album was Ice-T. I had it for an hour and a half, and then it was taken back. I owned 8 copies of To the Extreme because my mom kept throwing it out because the word sex is on the CD tape.
Oh.
So then as I got older, I got smarter.
You see what he did for street cred there? He switched the tape.
It wasn't CD. The first CD I owned was the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack.
Wow.
But it was my gateway because from Vanilla Ice, I got to MC Hammer, Criss Cross, Run DMC, Tupac. I was the first person in Worthington to ever know who Tupac was.
The first CD I ever bought is so white, I refuse to admit it on the internet.
What was it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Two Doors Down.
Come on, Max.
Adele.
No.
I'm
Try
trying
a
to
Linkin
think, 'cause I
Park.
knew you then.
Yeah, you did. I bought it when I got my first job, working at Meijer grocery store, pushing carts over the summer. And I am not going to tell you what CD.
You didn't have a CD until you were that old?
I never bought my own CD until my parents had bought me, but I bought the first CD that
Boys.
No, it wasn't Backstreet Boys.
Insane.
No, it was not insane.
No, you agree.
Fucking no, because I could borrow all those from my sister.
Nickelback.
No, it was not Nickelback. Nickelback was not.
We're talking guilty pleasures, Max. You can come clean.
No, I'm not gonna say that on the internet. You have to know me to find out what CD that is. Period. Like, you have to talk to me off of the internet to know what CD that is. That's like bottom line.
Next Animaniacs.
Huh?
The next Animaniacs.
No, it's not gonna be on Animaniacs.
It's an ongoing.
We're not gonna. No, I mean next time we hang out, I'm gonna be like, hey, before we record.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
And then,
for sure.
And then Scott
I'll
and I
let
are
you
talk.
know.
Scott, he's going to search you for a wire, though. You know that, right?
That's fine.
Can you lift up your shirt, Scott? Pat you
No one
down.
wants to see that.
John,
No,
we
because, like-
you have to go through the ocular pat down at least.
John, we offered to do a podcast without our shirts on if we got 10 likes one day, and we didn't get 10 likes during our live
Surprise.
video.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like
People
I
are
feel
like, "Can I
Max
just like
understands. I
this
don't want
more?"
to tell anyone. I'm just curious.
Right.
It's not like
and that's fine.
I-
And Scott, like, I don't mind telling you, but I'm not gonna say it on the internet.
But Scott can say it on the internet, right?
No, Scott can't say it on the internet. Like, if he's a dick, he will. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, then okay. But like, I can't stop that. All I can say is I'm personally not gonna do that.
Scott's going to have to sign an NDA.
No, it's not about that. Because I feel like if you know me,
Fine
you
with that.
respect me at least that much to not do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you
Maybe.
go.
I might be wrong. We'll see. We'll find out.
Hey, it's not like I don't have cameras that record audio at my place.
All right, Max. Just because it's your first CD doesn't mean that you really like super like it now. But what's your biggest
Guilty pleasure? I like bad anime. I like really bad anime. I mean, I like Dragon Ball Z. I like the volleyball anime. I like the Food Wars anime. Like, there's just so much. Like, I can just tell that it's bad, and I watch it anyway. I don't know why I can't not watch it. Like, it's you know, I like really really bad anime. I like Naruto.
Naruto.
Somebody
was watching Naruto on my.
You know, it's so bad. No, I enjoy the crap out of bad anime. And at least I can admit that it's bad. I know that there's just some like gross part of me that enjoys this, but it's 100% like my worst thing. Like, and there's anime is so broad spectrum. Like, there's something out there. Like, there's such good anime, and there's like really really just bad stuff out there. And I don't know why, but I can't get enough of the bad stuff. So 100% guilty pleasures. Bad anime. If it's a bad anime, I've probably watched a couple episodes of it at least.
Let's scoot down the line to Mr. Orlando.
My guilty pleasure, especially with
80s
movies,
TV.
is Bring It On. Bring It On is a terrible movie. It's awful, but god damn it, do I love it. I love it because there's just there's something about Kirsten Dunst in that movie that I just find so adorable. And I mean, it's terrible. The movie's awful, but Bring It On.
John,
hey, dude, like
I can't hate you. I like the Bring It On movie too.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, right? I mean, I'm right, Jason. It's not a good movie. It's not well written. The acting's really not too great, but there's just something about it that I love it.
It's like that first Buffy movie. I like that too. And
dude,
it's
the
not,
first Buffy movie is good.
It's okay.
In a terrible way.
Okay, there you go.
No, I enjoy that one too. I like that better than the show. It's Bring It On. Like I don't know why. Like I've got a special place in my heart for Bring It On, but not even because of Bring It On. Because of an episode of South Park where someone's like, "Bring it on," and he's like, "Oh, I already done brought it, bitch.
Yeah,
I done brought it, set it up on the table, and opened it, bitch." Like
that was the dance off thing. Like I think it was the dance off. Yeah, where like Randy's like, "Oh no, it's not on anymore. No, it's on. No, I don't think it's on. It's definitely off." Yeah.
Yeah. Bring It On. I did not expect that. I got mad respect for you.
I could have said Bring It On. I've talked about so much stuff that I like that's not good on this podcast.
Well, you're not. You don't have the handlebar mustache, though.
Yeah. Just Bring It On.
Are you up now?
John, what was your first questionable CD that you liked?
You mean questionable, like in I can't believe you own this, or
yeah, like that you actually like
my parents' eyes.
For your friends that you tried to hide.
What
from
do
your
you
friends.
like that you're ashamed of?
Tracy Chapman.
Like, give me one reason to stay here.
Yeah,
I had. Yeah.
That's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, I mean, look, when her first album came out.
Why are you ashamed of that?
Because it debuted on VH1. That's
okay, fair.
I can't.
When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I got her first album. I really liked it. But when you look through the cassette collection, not CD, but the cassette collection, and you're going, oh look, he has the 3 Public Enemy albums, Boogie Down Productions, Eric B. and Rakim, and then you go, wait a minute, Tracy Chapman. It kind of was like that.
Tracy Chapman is the
my friends would bust my balls about it.
Tracy Chapman is a fucking American treasure.
John,
I agree.
Here, I'll throw another one out there that I don't think I've ever talked about. So, I was also the guy that had 200 rap CDs, but also mixed in with my rap CDs, hidden in my car, I had the Backstreet Boys Millennium, because I initially bought it because a girl that I was dating liked it. But I would be lying if I said that I did not cruise around to the Backstreet Boys Millennium with the music blaring when I was by myself, because I freaking loved that CD in high school.
I once argued to a girl that NSYNC, that song Dirty Pop, where they kind of rap in that song, that is acceptable rap music. I argued that to a girl one time.
Yeah, but especially in hindsight, looking back and defending Justin Timberlake, it's not really something that's to be shameful of.
I feel like it is, though. I feel like it's shameful because of all of the rap music that exists.
That's true.
It's shameful.
What's Dan, what's your guilty pleasure? Since Scott left us, he's like, I'm done.
Scott is like, I can't even believe you motherfuckers. Like, you disgust me. I'm not even turning it off. I don't have time for that.
Dan's making his,
I'm gone.
Dan's making his Amazon deliveries going, don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart.
No.
I just don't think it understand.
Scott is in the process of burning his house down right now.
He's walking by with a gas can. Like, actually, Jason, I do have the Weird Al version of that on my memory stick.
Don't play that song.
Weird Al does work.
Yeah.
Kudos to that dude. That guy is a fucking rapper, rock star, fucking all of that shit. And he plays the accordion.
Dude, he's like,
he's awesome live.
In the sense that when he does a rap parody, like he's actually really good at rapping. Like in a
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad.
Dude, like his band is, good enough to copy anything.
Right.
Which is amazingly awesome.
Yeah.
But okay. Music-wise, I'm gonna go with Slaughter.
The metal band?
People not like Slaughter?
Not a metal band. See, because the guy's name was Mark Slaughter, it sounds heavy, but it's not.
I don't know that.
So just
yeah.
I'm familiar with, but I
it's
can't
90s
tell you
radio
a song.
rock. So yeah,
Okay.
it's but yeah, like because like it doesn't look right between like Slaughter and or Slayer and Megadeth and all those, and then you got Slaughter in there because hey, happy 90s,
Who sang that
like-
song Shine?
that is
Yeah.
Oh, that's Collective
Don't
Soul.
Tempt- yeah, okay.
Yeah, was it like that?
No. This is like
That's like 90s rock to me.
just
Never
look
let
it
your
up.
light shine.
Just look it up sometime
Okay,
You'll-
all right, I'll check it out.
because it may not be lame to you, but it's kind of lame to me.
Fair.
Well, Dan, you're a lot like me. When we like something that other people don't like, we own it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like,
I know.
I'll blast that shit like down the road. I don't care.
I'm almost 40. I could care less if people like what I like.
I don't care.
Scott, what's your guilty pleasure?
Wait,
Oh.
Dan's not done.
Movie wise, like shitty 90s action movies like Judge Dredd.
Oh,
Dude, just
Like
Dredd.
I am
Shit.
so down on that.
Dude, fuck yes.
now
I'll watch
you know-
Just Dredd with you.
And like weird British cop dramas, like Midsummer Mysteries and shit like that. I don't know why, but I can watch those like all fucking day.
I really like Luther.
There's this fucking island cop show that my dad watches. It's on like fucking
Oh,
PBS or something like that. I secretly like it. I can't even remember the name of it right now.
I know what you're talking about. I think it's like Norwegian, right?
No, it's
Is that
like
the one or no? Okay.
no.
I know what you're talking about, Max. It's on
It's
Sunday
like
nights.
Caribbean island,
Oh.
and there's like murder mysteries. It's like Murder She Wrote on a Caribbean island, and like they've
That sounds
got
great.
3 different like detectives now, and it's I like one better than the other. It's fucking ridiculous. It's a terrible show. Like it is not very good, but I don't know why. I'm sorry. Like that just came to mind when you were talking.
Oh,
I
that
can't
sounds
remember the
great.
name of this show.
Give me the name of that, Max.
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
It's like Island Murders or some shit like that. It's always like a weird, somehow European white guy who comes to the island to be like the lead detective, and then like, he's got to deal with like all these island people who are like all the cops and all the like people he's got to deal with are all black, but like the main guy has always been white as far as I've seen, and it's just like this weird. He's always got this weird, quirky personality from like either like Norwegian or fucking British or something like that, and it's just like weird. But I like my dad got me on it because he fucking loves that show, and like it'll be in the background as I'm doing like whatever, but I secretly kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, there's some horribly depressing like Northern European cop dramas that are just great.
Oh, dude,
But-
yeah,
Is it called Death in Paradise?
yes,
okay,
that's it.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna go watch that when we're done. Scott,
I swear to you, it's on like PBS or something. Scott?
yeah, it's your turn.
Just start unloading.
Yeah, man, let it go.
Yeah.
Double barrel.
So I don't really have many like music guilty pleasures. I feel like a lot of the stuff I listen to is pretty normal.
Pretty,
Um,
within the realms of good or cool.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, hip and happening. I don't really think like the first Mortal Kombat movie. Like, does that really count as a guilty? It's kind of like a cult.
Yeah,
classic. It's
I mean,
not a great movie.
It's
but,
enough of a cult classic to not be a guilty pleasure.
now if you like
Huh.
Mortal Kombat 2, the
Okay.
movie,
no.
Ah,
that
there
would
you
be a
go.
guilty
Okay.
pleasure.
Yes,
And now you die.
that's the difference.
Okay. I got okay. Star Fox Adventures. It is
Okay.
not a very good game. It's just kind of a lame Zelda clone.
It's
And
not
in
really
terms of like a
Fox
Star,
game.
but in terms of a Star Fox game, it's not even good because you like fly like twice in the whole game, and it's like so bare bones. And like the original was like an arcade flight shooter, and then they just made this crappy Zelda clone out of it that they took over from another project that Rare had been working on for a couple years. And yeah, like it's not very good. Like you could just play Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask and just like play a better action adventure game. But I don't know why. I've always enjoyed it.
That's funny too. It's like, I could be playing Zelda right now, but I choose to spend my time with Star Fox. But I mean, like, the aesthetic matters, though. It's like the difference between StarCraft and Warcraft.
That's true.
Scott, so you mean you don't want to come clean that you are a huge fan of Boot Scootin' Boogie and you listen to it every day before you podcast?
Dude, that is like the only country song that I remember country line dancing to.
We had to. It's cool.
Yeah.
I like a Wagon Wheel by Old Crow Medicine Show.
Dude. Look, good on you for not saying fucking Hootie.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not a big country fan.
Nah,
Also,
like there's a little bit of country I can listen to, but it's like Johnny Cash.
Yeah, like
I like the Old Crow Medicine Show version of Wagon Wheel over the Hootie version. No offense to Hootie.
I can do like
I
old
dig
timey
Hootie,
country.
which is weird. I don't like Hootie the country singer, but I like Hootie the Blowfish.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's
That's
better with
perfectly normal.
fish.
My fiance has been watching a lot of reality TV show lately. Like she's big into like VH1 and MTV and stuff like that. And yeah, but I can kind of get into the challenge if they're doing like the actual challenge part, like watching like physical like competitions. Like I can get into. But something else that I'm like kind of oddly into, and I hate like 99% of the people on the show is Chrisley Knows Best. Like I fucking hate everyone except for the grandma. Whenever the grandma's on, I'm like, this is pretty funny. But everything else is like so clearly staged and just dumb and like perfectly set and like all right, now say this and hold on, we'll get the camera. And like you can tell like the kids never really know what to do. Like they're always like looking off frame, like they're looking at the producers. But like the grandma's so old.
Drama. It's all set up for the confessional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I hate reality TV like to an extreme, but lately I've been absolutely obsessed with Netflix's The Circle. I've watched it in 3 different languages.
Oh my god! No, like,
and I just found out there's a British version, which I will be watching as well.
Maybe I can get down to the British version. I was over here. I was watching the French version of this show with Jason. It is unwatchable. It is fucking terrible.
Yeah, right. You were asleep the whole time.
Exactly.
You were asleep.
Exactly.
You fell asleep.
I was not asleep before. I was not asleep before.
Yes, we all
that shit put me to sleep. No, it was fucking bullshit.
My neighbors.
This show is fucking terrible.
You just wander into the living room, like, what show is this? Plunk.
And yeah, you got to be sitting down to watch the show.
He was sleeping because he was snoring. We all know Max when he snores. Through his anime, and then Liz turned it on because he was asleep, and then halfway through him sleeping, he woke up and goes, "What's this?
What the fuck is this?"
And then he was back asleep. That's literally what he saw, to be fair. But
so are the different languages like are they completely different shows?
Yes.
It's a social media popularity kind of content.
Oh, that kind of shit. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
It's so fucking dumb. Oh my goodness, it is terrible. It is fucking terrible.
I thought you were talking about the one where the kid joins a fraternity in college and
the Emma Watson movie, The Circle.
There's a series on.
No.
There's a Netflix series.
Yeah, there is.
Like
Jesus
that, but
Christ.
it's not the social media thing. Okay.
So I will say that the Circle social media is better than the Circle with Emma Watson.
Bullshit.
Somehow I doubt that.
I didn't like that movie.
Because if I was given the option, and especially after seeing the Circle in